This camera is worth over $1,700. This one's just about 12% of that. Which one do you like better? Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Joe Finley, and today we are looking at the Elgato Facecam, one of the big products that Elgato had in that huge announcement a couple months back. And this thing is a game changer. I have not seen another webcam perform like this, period. It looks so clean, it looks so crisp, to the point where I might not have bought my mirrorless camera had this been available at the time. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't regret having my mirrorless camera. I use it for vlogging, I use it for photography. It has a wider range of uses. But if all you're gonna do is plop it down on the desk and stream, why would you spend that much money? So in the box, you're gonna get a separate USB-C cable, but make sure you are plugging that into a USB 3 port, otherwise this thing will not turn on. The camera comes with a little lens cap that pops off. Not a huge fan of this lens cap, the way it sits in there. I mean, it's fine, but I think I would rather something that you could just shutter over. That's neither here nor there though. And then, like any other webcam, you get this little mount. And now it's really nice because it's very adjustable. You can open this and close it, you can do all this. But what's really nice too is it unscrews, and you can put this into any tripod mount. So you can have a little desk mounted thing that, you know, can sit up high or sit low, so however you want it to, instead of just on top of your monitor. Oh, hey there, me again. Just something I realized I didn't mention while I was doing the actual shoot is that the Elgato Facecam does not come with a built-in microphone. Shouldn't be a big deal for virtually everybody, seeing as I don't know anybody who uses their webcam microphone as their main source of audio on stream. And I think it was kind of smart of Elgato to save their efforts and not bother with it. Left more real estate in this little guy for just video stuff. No need for audio. I got audio. Anyways, back to the video. So let's get right into the heart of what makes this camera really good, the software. So here we are, you're looking at me on the Facecam right now, and here we have just a ton of different adjustments. Basically a lot of the same things you can change on your mirrorless camera. So you can see here shutter speed and ISO, you can see a white balance, you can see some noise reduction, it's all sorts of other stuff. So let's just work from the top down. So first you have your zoom / field of view. It sits at 83.2%. It's zoomed all the way out. If you go in, it's a digital zoom. You know, there's that to contend with. I don't really know anybody who would zoom in like this anyways, unless they had the camera tucked away far. But this is a main camera kind of camera, so let's do that. It's a beautiful field of view though. Like, look at the amount of space that I'm getting here. It's really nice. Compared to right now, the slight limitation of my mirrorless, this is a 28mm focal length right now, so it's not as wide as the 83.2%, but I can get another lens, which is in the plans, but you know, one thing at a time. Let's monetize the channel first, maybe I can get myself a new lens. So you can see here we have our contrast, saturation, and sharpness. So let's see, I keep this at about 40% right now, but I can go all the way, one way or the other. Then the saturation, same deal, I can get really saturated. This makes me look kind of red, doesn't it? And go all the way the other way. Have a film noir kind of deal. And then the sharpness, I've got this here right now. If I go all the way soft, like, it removes every blemish. And maybe that's what you want, but I'm a flawed human. I don't mind having a few marks. If you go too high, then its details, edged details, start to get a little weird, and I don't really want that. So just bring it down just a little bit. Then our shutter speed and ISO. Shutter speed, you want to kind of keep it at what you're shooting at. So I'm doing 60 frames a second. So it leaves me at 1/64th. That's where it goes. And then you can see as I adjust it one way or the other, it reacts accordingly. And then same with the ISO. Now this is kind of a digital boost in your lighting. So if I go all the way down, it gets dim. All the way up, you know, go to the light. And then in white balance, we'll do an automatic white balance. And you can see right off the bat, so I'm a little bit more orange in here, which is probably accurate. But what's most accurate is the light behind me, because when it's off, it's a blue light. When it's on, it's a purple light. It's a purple light. You can toy with this under your color temperatures to try and find the right thing for you, just the right balance. And that looks okay. So just make sure, especially when you're dealing with white balance and stuff like that, if you don't have like a white card or something like that to deal with, I just recommend finding something that's supposed to be a color and make sure that it matches. That light was ideal for me because I didn't even notice. My skin looked pretty good and all that, and then all of a sudden I look back, I'm like, that light's not blue. And then we've got our noise reduction, so we can turn that off and on as we see fit. Realistically, with this one, it's going to depend on what's going on in your room and stuff like that. It might be perfectly fine to leave it off. You might find a use for it to be on. Turn it on, turn it off, look what it looks like on your camera, and then decide. My favorite part about this little guy, though, is when I come up here and I click save. Now all these settings are saved on a flash drive within the camera. So I can reset the computer and all the settings aren't going to go back to their defaults. I can even unplug this and take it to a totally different computer, plug it in, and it'll be ready to go. So let's just have a look at the side by side. So on your left is my Sony a7 III, on the right, the Elgato Facecam. Obviously, on the left, tons of details. You can see all the freckles, you can see where I cut my head today. It is what it is. You get what you're given. However, on the right, it's a lot softer. A lot of the details are kind of gone. So like the cut is still there. Everything's just kind of softer. The lines are all softer. Maybe that means something to you. Maybe that's a little bit better than putting on a little bit of makeup. I could put on some pancake and cover all this nonsense up. I'm okay with it. If you guys aren't, let me know down in the comments and maybe we'll revisit that. But the color is, for the most part, true. A little bit red in the face on the face cam. You know, you can really fine tune those adjustments and maybe get it to where you want. And again, if you're not putting them side by side, it's probably not that big of a deal. Remember, I'm using a full frame camera versus a webcam right now. So, I mean, the results are pretty significant here. Now, the price of the Facecam, $259.99 US. Yeah, that's a lot of money. It's not nothing, but consider the jump that you'd have to make to go to a mirrorless. Even if you're looking at a crop sensor camera, you're still looking at least $1,000 US. So it's a significant leap. So really what it depends on is what are you going to use this camera for? I knew I was going to take this thing out into the field for vlogging. I knew I wanted to do photography with it. I knew I wanted the ability to switch out lenses and do all that sort of stuff. So obviously the price to me is worth it. If you're just going to be sitting there and using this just for streams, unless you're making a ton of money on your channel, I don't know why you would make such a gigantic leap. It's not worth it to me. The $259 is a big leap from, say, the C920. It's still a pretty big leap from the Brio and stuff like that. But the quality leap is so much more significant. I've asked the question in other videos, is this much money more worth it? And this one absolutely is. The comparison between this and the C920, or this and the Brio, or this and the StreamCam, or the AverMedia offerings, it's just night and day. Okay, so that's it for this one. If you enjoyed what you saw, make sure to click like, click subscribe, click the little bell for the notifications, all those wonderful things. They're a great help to me, and hopefully they're a great help to you too. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the camera, what you thought about the comparison between that and the mirrorless. Is it worth the giant leap to go mirrorless over the quality of this camera? I don't think so. What's your opinion? And make sure to follow me on all my socials, all down below, and follow me on Twitch, all those wonderful things. But until next time I see you guys, let's get to work. I commend you for just the utter commitment to delivering that distance. And then we have Negs, the only one able to keep up with Flamehead. And you're saying Flamehead like it's like he's got stakes to him for everybody, right?
Right.
It's like saying like Lobo's the only one who could take on Superman. I'm like, I know who Superman is. That's a lot.